Hi, this is Dena with the York County Library in York County, South Carolina, and welcome to Poetry Corner, where we take a break in our day, let our minds switch gears, and enjoy a few poems. Today, I am going to be reading some poetry from Thomas Hardy. Here's a picture of him and a biography of him, and I will scroll slowly so you can pause the recording to read further if you wish. The funny thing about him is that I'm a big fan of his novels, and I had no idea until very recently that he was a poet, which is kind of strange that I didn't realize that, but I'm really enjoying his poems now. He wrote Test of the D'Urbervilles, he wrote Jude the Obscure, The Mayor of Casterbridge, and some other, I think Far from the Maddening Crowd, that you may be familiar with, but he's also a poet. And I picked out 5 that I was going to share with you today. A Backward Spring. The trees are afraid to put forth buds, and there is timidity in the grass. The plots lie gray where gouged by spuds, and whether next week will pass free of sly, sour winds is the fret of each bush of barberry waiting to bloom. Yet the snowdrop's face betrays no gloom, and the primrose pants in its heedless push. Through the myrtle asks if it's worth the fight this year with frost and rime to venture one more time on delicate leaves and buttons of white from the self-same bough as at last year's prime, and never to ruminate on or remember what happened to it in mid-December. A Broken Appointment. You did not come, and marching time drew on and wore me numb, yet less for loss of your dear presence there than that I thus found lacking in your make, that high compassion which can overbear reluctance for pure loving kindness' sake, grieved I, when, as the hope hour stroked its sum, you did not come. You love not me, and love alone can lend you loyalty. I know and knew it, but unto the store of human deeds divine in all but name, was it not worth a little hour or more to add yet this? Once you, a woman, came to soothe a time-torn man, even though it be you loved not me? A House with a History. There was a house in a city street, some past ones made their own. Its floors were crisscrossed by their feet, and their babblings beat from ceiling to white hearthstone. And who are peopling its parlors now? Who talk across its floor? Mere freshlings are they, blank of brow, who read not how its prime had passed before. Their raw equipment scenes and says afflicted its memoried face, that had seen every larger phase of human ways before these filled the place. To them that house's tale is theirs, no former voices call aloud therein. Its aspect bears their joys and cares alone, from wall to wall. A Week. On Monday night I closed my door and thought you were not as heretofore, and little cared if we met no more. I seemed on Tuesday night to trace something beyond mere commonplace in your ideas and heart and face. On Wednesday I did not opine your life would ever be one with mine, though if it were, we should well combine. On Thursday noon I liked you well, and fondly felt that we must dwell not far apart, whatever befell. On Friday it was a thrill in gazing towards your distant ville. I owned you were my dear one still. I saw you wholly to my mind on Saturday, even one who shrined all that was best of womankind. As wing-clipped seagull for the sea, on Sunday night I longed for thee, without whom life were waste to me. Without Ceremony. It was your way, my dear, to be gone without a word when callers, friends, or kin had left, and I hastened to rejoin you, as I inferred. And when you'd mind to career off anywhere, say to town, you were all a sudden gone before I had thought thereon or noticed your trunks were down. So now that you disappear forever in that swift style, your meaning seems to me just as it used to be. Goodbye is not worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed this installment of Poetry Corner. Thanks for joining me.